today is head referee Willie Manis, the constant pain in my ass, thorn in my side, and actually an okay guy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
A compliment?
A compliment.
Wow.
I mean, truthfully, you don't mean to be such an idiot. You just so happen to be. Your heart's in a good place, but...
Well,
yeah.
When I'm in the ring, I try to do the best job I can. And you...
are amazing. I know.
No, you just take shortcuts, and I don't like that.
Oh, okay. Well, your feelings aside, and my feelings aside, let's talk about Willie Manis. Where are you from? How did you get into wrestling? Just start out with... tell us about who is head referee Willie Manis.
Head referee Willie Manis was born and raised here in Greenville, Tennessee. Lived here all my life. I actually just good old country boy. Just started watching wrestling. I've been watching wrestling for pretty much as far as back as I can remember. That's the way I got into it. I had a friend that was here at SOM, told me about coming out and watching. Just sitting in the crowd wasn't good enough, and I talked with the people that I needed to and started as a referee.
So how long have you been reffing now?
I've been reffing a little over 1 year.
How does that feel?
It's great. It's great to be in the ring, being able to have the authority that I do. But it's great to actually be able to have a boyhood dream that I can fulfill.
Yeah. What's it been like having Ricky Morton give you tips and insight into being a referee? Because I know even just training to be a wrestler around him, he's many times brought up the importance of being a referee. And his father, Paul Morton, you know, a well-known referee, was in the business for pretty much his whole life. I mean, what have you picked up since you've been here about being a good referee and how important that is?
It's very important. Actually, a referee can make or break a match. If you're not careful on what you do, positioning, catching the people when they're in and out of the ring when they're not supposed to be, like I've taught you.
I would never do that.
Oh, okay. But I've actually I had Ricky to give me pointers on what I do right, what I do wrong, how I can better myself as a referee in the ring.
Yeah. So I know that you're a huge wrestling fan of all different types of wrestling, but if you had to pick a top 3, what brands and what era of those brands?
Oh, definitely. Top on the list would be WWE, the Attitude Era. That was probably the best that I've seen. The Four Horsemen. That's probably a great clique that I really like, because Flair is probably the man in my book.
Do you think he's the best that there's ever been?
That's what he says.
It's what he says. So you believe it? Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But then you have probably AEW, the up and coming. I like that brand too.
Yeah.
So, I know you said 3, but hey, it's hard to go back. I mean, the war of the WCW, WWF.
Well, that's the Attitude Era. You were saying months and months back that you were a huge fan of New Japan.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me that when we had a really, really rough period in professional wrestling, they did as well in Japan. I mean, it was kind of a worldwide thing right after the Attitude Era. And they kind of built back up quicker than we did over here, as far as like that cult sensation, that feeling that you got that you were a part of something, or you were witnessing something really cool. When they had, the Young Bucks, the Bullet Club, all that stuff going on. So you were a big fan of that stuff too, right?
Oh yeah, the elite.
That ties into AEW,
yeah.
but that was a different company. Those were different things that were going on. So.
And if you look, like I said, you were saying it, the Young Bucks, they brought that to AEW with Omega, with the Bucks and things of that nature. But yeah, I understand. The New Japan, it seemed like they clicked a little bit quicker because all you had at that time after the collapse of WCW was WWE.
Yeah.
And New Japan gave you a different venue and outlook.
Right. So coming from the perspective of a fan for so long, and just being fresh into the business, what do you think that you can bring to the promotion that you haven't quite gotten there yet, but once you do, what is your goal that you want to bring when you step into the ring as a referee here at SOM?
Wow, great question. I'm still learning. Hope one day to be able to just be the best that referee that when I step in the ring that is necessary to be.
Yeah.
It's really good question though.
Yeah, because that's something that I shoot for anytime I step into the ring. I want to elevate the show that's already started. And I know as a referee, a lot of people don't understand how much of an influence you can have on a match and be the glue that really keeps everything together. So that's something that we should all be working towards together.
Yeah. And it, like you said, an integral part. A referee holds it, and I'm still learning. It's an everyday. Every time I'm in the ring, I learn something new.
Right. And they say to be a good leader, you have to know how to be a follower. So how is your success as you're coaching a soccer team at West Green, right?
Yes.
Is that a fact?
Yes.
Tell us about that. How did you get into that? Not only how did you get into it, what's that like, but what's it like stepping back from the coaching role to come here and have to be coached?
Well, the reason I started that is in my personal life, I have two daughters, and they played soccer. Told the coach I'd help him out anyway. I actually started out by just running balls up and down the sidelines if they needed be, and he approached me about being a volunteer assistant coach, and I told him, if we could get it done. So they approved me through the school board, and I loved it. It's great to try to mentor the ladies and the guys that I did, and then like you said, to come here and be coached by a WWE Hall of Famer. I have to step back from myself because he knows more about this than I do, and I have to listen to him. Most of the players we have and the soccer is newer to the game, so I've been there for 5 years.
Yeah.
I know more about it. I understand it, and I'm trying to teach these young ladies and men the game that they're playing.
Right. So it's easier to step back whenever you know this guy's a legend.
Yes.
I need to chill out. But then when you get to the younger folks and people new to the soccer game, you have no problem with the transition, right?
No, I have no problem with it.
Well, then that brings me to the question of why, knowing that I am so much more talented, so much smarter, greater in every way than you still argue with me.
Because when I wear that striped shirt, I am in authority.
Okay. Well, I can't take that away from you. That's a fact. So you started coming here as a fan. You said you had a friend that was involved. You didn't come into this thing as a spring chicken. You've got a family. You've got a lot of responsibilities on your plate. How supportive is your family of what you're doing here at SOM?
They're supportive. They've actually been to shows. I'm here today. I'll be here tomorrow for 505 Live. They're real supportive. They love seeing what I do in the ring as a referee.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
What about your people at work? How
Uh,
does that go? And how long have you been working your job? I'm pretty sure you're tenured, right? You've been there for a while.
I have been with my current job for 31 years.
Wow.
Some people.
Dedication.
Yeah, thank you. Some people know that what I do. They're like, they think it's awesome, and then I've got some that wants to come and just heckle me, just like I used to do when I was in the crowd.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how the people at work are with me. They think it's great. I think it's great that they back me and support me.
Right. So sometimes it's rough.
Oh yeah.
What we do, and especially for you. I mean, if you make a mistake, as we've said, it's a big deal. And when you make a mistake, and it's a big deal, and everybody's emotions are going, you know, it can cause some altercations. And I know you've ran into some tough times for making mistakes. And how do you handle that? How do you, that passion that drives you to keep coming back? Where is that coming from? And how do you take that harsh criticism?
Well, it's actually a will to not lose.
Yeah.
To not let it defeat me. And you're right. I have made mistakes.
Everybody does.
But
yours are under a microscope.
Exactly. It's harder because they see mine.
You can't cover it up hardly.
And I've done it where you're concerned.
Yeah.
And
yes, you have.
But I don't let it discourage me and get me down, because actually it's criticism to help me to become a better referee.
Yeah.
If I mess up, tell me what I can do to be better. That's the main thing and main purpose that I look for, is to be the best referee here at SOM that can be.
Yeah. So a frank question. I want you to look me straight in the eye. I want a straight face. Is James Strange an asshole?
No. Because
it took so long to answer that. You really thought that out?
No, because he is here to make SOM the best it can be.
Yeah.
And if he gets into my ass, it's because I needed it.
Yeah. So you think that's necessary sometimes for people to face harsh criticism and have to really reflect on what just happened or what they've done?
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I've messed up.
Yeah.
And I've been told this is what needed to happen. I have to count 3, no matter what.
Yeah. And sometimes
with no hesitation.
Okay. So yeah, I agree with you. I see the value in letting people know what's up and making them understand, and it's not a joke, and we need to do better and take things seriously. And if you don't have a level of authority in your voice, and if you're not bringing reality to the table, people aren't going to appreciate what's going on. So I agree with you. I think that that's important too. And I think it's awesome that you have taken the criticism that you've taken and made the mistakes that you've made, and you're still able to show up, and you still have a passion for it. And I really appreciate that. I think that's great. And you're getting better. You have gotten better. We've all been growing together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that coming from you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate everything that you do and everything that everybody does here. So what's the family like behind the scenes, supporting the school, traveling, willing to come to things? Like, I see your family around a lot, and that's something special. It seems like you've got a whole crew that'll come with you to be a part of what you're doing. What have you done for your people? They obviously love you. And I know a lot about you, so I know how big your heart is and what you do for your family. But, you know, if you don't mind, just, you know, give people a little taste of your personal life and what your family means to you.
Oh, my family means the world to me. Got a wife that I've been with for 30-some years. We've been married for 20. We've been married for 28. It's actually 35 years. We've been married for 29.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've got 2 daughters. They've been here to school. Got a 17-month-old granddaughter that is the absolute world to me. She means everything. But it's like you said, I try to be the best husband, father, and grandfather that I can be. Make sure that they're taken care of and things of that nature. It's my family is first. I couldn't be where I'm at without them.
Well, in a lot of ways, we couldn't be where we're at the school without you and people just like you that support the growth that's happened. What change have you seen in this school since you've been coming as a fan and as part of the show, and how have you been a part of the evolution of SOM?
Well, that's a tough question. Real tough. The evolution is that as I have sat in the crowd as a fan, I have seen the talent is a lot better. The roster is phenomenal, and you can see the growth that is there. As far as what I can do, just like I say, try to just get better each time I step in the ring as a referee.
What about the construction efforts? I mean, we got the entrance. We've got the cosmetically, the show has changed. The studio. We have a studio here now, and you don't want to get credit where credit is due. I have been told that you did a lot to help build this stuff, to help. The times that they were tearing walls down, we were up sweeping everything up and everything. I mean, you see that as just being a part of the crew, but really that's your individual effort coming into a group, into a team, and making the team function. So you're a big part of that, man.
Well, it's all for it's all for SOM.
Right.
And SOM cannot function on one person. We are a team. I mean, if I didn't have you to be in the ring with, it would be somebody else. But I mean, we're a team, man.
Yeah.
You can't take individual credit for what's done. Yeah, I was here. I've helped bust walls down. I've helped put destruction up. I've done it, but it's just not all about me. It's SOM.
Yeah.
And that's where my heart, even though it's the AW shirt's on, my heart's SOM. I'm true and loyal to SOM.
Well, what do you see SOM becoming in the future?
Wow. Well, it goes back to James Strange and his vision. I just hope that we can explode and be huge.
Yeah.
I'm talking maybe a main national level, like an NWA.
Right. And that's huge, bigger than your ego, or bigger?
Maybe your ego.
No, my ego. I'm so leveled. I'm so grounded.
Listen.
I'm grounded like an angry 12-year-old.
Listen here, empty chamber. Come on now.
Listen.
My ego. I do try to keep in check, but hey.
No, I've seen the Hollywood Hulk Willie out there sometimes.
Sometimes it
taking
does
bumps, bouncing back up and raising up.
Sometimes it comes out because hey,
you're crazy.
The fans.
I know it. You're crazy.
The fans. Hey, how many wrestlers the fans cheered for?
They cheer for you. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Maybe it's something in the swamp water out here in Kentucky, Tennessee. But all honesty, I appreciate you. You're a fantastic asset. You're a great team member. I'm glad I get to work with you.
That's the same here.
And I'm glad you shared what you did for the people that are going to be watching this, because you really are a great person. That's the reason why the crowd is cheering you, because they know you not just from here, but out in the community. They know that you're a great guy. As a testament to the person that you are, I would like to share with everybody that you drove over an hour to come pick me up one way, to bring me to school to train here, because you said you saw potential in me. You knew that I wanted it, and you were going to make sure that nothing was going to hold me back. And that means a lot to me, for you to drive all the way out of your way to pick me up for nothing. I want you to know I appreciate that. And I mean, what struck you to even do that? What makes you tick like that? Not anybody, a lot of people wouldn't do that.
Well,
so.
That's what we have to do, man. I mean, it's friendship, it's companionship. I mean, if you're going to be somebody's friend, be loyal. Don't say, oh, I might have been able to do it. No, do it. Be loyal to a friend. That's what being big-hearted is about. I try to be that way unless somebody is taking advantage.
Yeah.
And you needed to be here at training. You said it yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I can come. I didn't have nothing to do. I mean, we were both coming to training that night anyway.
Yeah.
And after I was done with work, I said, hey, I got you.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, nobody else was coming that way.
Yep.
So I was like, hey, I'll be up there and get you.
Wouldn't have been there that day without you. So, I mean, that's a huge testament to you as a person, your belief in SOM, your belief in me, what we're doing. And it means a lot, man. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you doing this podcast with me today.
Appreciate it.
Great to have head referee Willie Manis. This is the SOM Live Podcast. I'm the loaded gun. And
he's the empty chamber.
No, I'm absolutely not. Glad we got to do this today, and thank you all for watching. Check it out next time.